Hey, happy client check-in day. I'm so excited to chat with you guys today about your goals, where you've been, where you are in the life book. I also wanted to prepare you for success. So I want you to consider that there could be a couple holidays coming up, like Valentine's or the Super Bowl. And what are your past habits? And would the healthiest version, put insert name, what would they do if they were strong and capable of reaching their goals? Like, what would be some of the action steps that they would take? So, I want you to consider this future identity of yourself and try to connect with that. And asking yourself. So, one time I had a client who was going to go on a trip, and I was like, well, what do you want? Like, it comes down to what you want. So I want to give you some power and some questions. I have in the video of this video, there's details and there's a lot of resources. There's some recipes for the Super Bowl, for Valentine's, and then I have this plan of action sheet. So I'm going to go over with you so you kind of know what to expect when you're taking a look at that and setting yourself up for success. So, like, what is the event, and kind of clearly identifying that and what will be taking place. What would be your specific goals? So would your goal be to stay in a strong fat burn? Would it be to make good choices? That's too generic. You need to have a very specific plan. So identify the possible barriers that you might encounter at the event. So if it's at a Super Bowl weekend, it could be, and identify the emotions. So maybe you're feeling left out, maybe you're feeling bored. Okay, what are the emotions there? What are other possible barriers? Like maybe staying in the kitchen could be a barrier, because that's where the food is. Maybe other possible barriers could be what caring what people think, maybe not sharing it with people so that you feel empowered that they're cheering you onto your goals. So kind of take a look at those barriers that there could be. I know you're going to come up with better ones than I just gave you. And then identify the strategy to put, oh, maybe like cooking things that are super yummy that you have a hard time not eating. Like, set yourself up for success there. Like, for birthdays, I usually make really yucky cakes because if I make a dang good one, which I know how to do, I know I'm going to want to eat it more. So just kind of setting yourself up for success there. And I do it on my birthday because I'm in, my goals. So, okay, identify the strategy to put in place that will help you manage the barriers identified above. So maybe staying out of the kitchen, maybe cooking things that are lean and green that you can take that you can share. Maybe staying out of the, did I say stay out of the kitchen? Telling your friends that you're working on your health goals and to support you. And maybe you bring something to hold in your hand or more water or like a diet soda if that's what you wish. Good, better, best, right? You got to make choices that will support you. And also if anything happens to where you go off track and weren't thinking of doing XYZ, but you do it, the number one thing I would love for you to do is to learn from it and not to go into this shame place that you're embarrassed or that you're, scared to tell Jen. Like, I'm not the food police. These are your goals. But I would say a lot of times we're a lot stronger than we think. And Dr. A teaches us stop, challenge, choose. And a lot of times, that in between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is your power to choose. And in that choice lies your freedom and your growth. If you never learn how to make choices and stick with it, then you might struggle in maintenance as well, right? Like, we have to learn the self discipline because we want to be a person, like, it goes back to that identity. So, what do you want? And help me help you by finding clarity around that. And what intentional thoughts or verbiage could you create to help you in these moments? Like, if you're overcoming sugar cravings, you could study. There's some stuff I have for you to study about urges and cravings. So there's a lot of tools and resources, and I just want to empower you guys. This year can be different than the rest, and pull out the strongest, healthiest version of you, and let's get to know her a little bit better, or him.